What's up, Sydney?
What's up, Dad?
Ready for your random Randy's question out of nowhere?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, so there are a ton of good TV shows out there. I'm not sure exactly what you're watching, but I thought, hey, let's get a question pertaining to television. So, if you had to live inside one television show for a year, what show would you pick and why?
So we just started watching Ted Lasso this past weekend, and we've been watching probably 3 or 4 episodes a day, and we're both pretty obsessed with it. So I think I would pick Ted Lasso for right now.
Ted Lasso is an awesome show. How
I
far
love
in?
it.
How far in are you?
We're about to finish the first season.
Yeah, that's a awesome show. Pretty much every show on Apple TV is ridiculously good. I don't know if you've ever seen the show Shrinking.
No, I've never seen that.
It's got Jason Segel, Harrison Ford. The cast is amazing. It's funny. It's heartfelt. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry. You gotta add that to your list. So after Ted Lasso, dive right into Shrinking. It's amazing. But that's a great answer. Who's your favorite character so far on Ted Lasso?
It's hard not to say Ted because he's so funny. Like he
Yeah.
just has this it's a perfect humor in my opinion. He's just so witty and funny. But I also weirdly like the owner. I'm blanking on her name right now. She is
Oh
so
yeah, yeah,
hot
yeah.
and cold, but I don't know why, but I'm kind of obsessed with her. I think that she is super funny, and we're at the point right now where she's kind of warming up to Ted.
Yes.
So I'm really starting to like her.
Great cast. And have you seen the videos where she in real life is like a really good singer?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, her and Ted Lasso do a duet. Um, it's the Bradley Cooper Lady Gaga song from
Yeah.
that movie. They do a duet of that, and
Mhm.
she's a really good singer. So if you get a chance to do a YouTube dive of all her singing, it's pretty cool. She's really awesome.
Yeah,
But
I like her
that's
a
a
lot.
great show. That's a great pick. I think it's time to start the show.
Let's go! Let's go! Here we go now.
All right, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into another episode of the 3Ts, tables, tailgates, and top loaders. I'm your host, TB, and we are back yet again with the co-host, Sydney. She's joining us yet again from Jacksonville. How you doing this week, Sid?
I'm doing good. It is hot here, let me tell you. I feel like it just keeps getting hotter and hotter every day. They weren't kidding about that Florida summer.
Are you getting tons of these insane rain showers?
Yeah,
Seems
it's
like
funny. I think anyone that lives in Florida will agree with this, but it rains at the same exact time every single day, like torrential downpour, and it'll rain for maybe about 10 minutes or so, and then it'll be completely fine after that.
yeah, I don't like these. I know I like the Randy's random questions out of nowhere. I don't like random insane thunderstorms out of nowhere. Those are not cool. Where it rains like 5 inches in a span of 2 minutes. That's not
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
So what else is going on? How's things down there other than the weather?
It's good. Just kind of wrapping up the basketball season, which is exciting. Ready to get back into hockey. So yeah, just kind of working on work.
Did you get to see Spider-Man yet?
No, I haven't seen it, but I just went to the movies this past weekend with my friend, and we went and saw a rom com. So didn't
Oh,
see Spider Man,
rom-com.
but
What did you see?
it's called One Night Only. It was really
Never
good.
heard of it.
Really good.
You did not see the Odyssey, the 3.5 hour
No.
Odyssey.
No, I didn't see it. I know. I
What
need
are
to.
your thoughts on this must-see global event?
I think it's kind of cool. I actually didn't know what it was, but everyone in my office was talking about how good it was and that they actually were going to go watch it again, which is really interesting. I feel like that doesn't happen a lot where people want to continuously go and watch these movies over and over again. But everyone was saying it was really good. So I asked my one coworker, I was like, what even is this movie? And he kind of just explained all of it.
Right?
Not really too hip on that, but it seems like something that could be pretty interesting. So maybe I'll, look into that whenever it comes on a streaming service or something.
So apparently the way to see this movie, you've heard of IMAX. Clearly we've been to an IMAX movie before. Well, there's IMAX and then there's these mega IMAX, which is what everyone says you absolutely need to see this movie on. So 70, I don't know what it's called, 70 millimeter IMAX or whatever. These are even bigger than a normal IMAX screen. First of all, are there any of these screens in the Jacksonville, Northern Florida area?
I think we do have an IMAX.
Do you have one of the mega IMAXs?
I don't think we have the mega IMAX.
How far would you be willing to travel to go to see one of these must-see global events?
I don't know. Maybe like 30 minutes. I'm not really sure.
Well, if you're familiar with the King of Prussia Mall, apparently they have one of these mega theaters, but that's like what, an hour and a half, hour, 40 minutes away. Yeah. I don't know. I was thinking about doing it, but a ticket to see this on the huge screen is like $35, $40.
I feel like that's not too bad.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not terrible.
The rom-com I saw the other day was $10. So, and we were one of 5 people in the entire theater because we saw it at 11:45 a.m.
So rom-com, not a must-see global event.
I thought it was good.
No. Hey, to each their own, I guess. Yeah, so are you ready to talk some Buffalo Bills?
I'm ready.
Well, we are bringing on our pal Mike here. Let's see if he is going to be ready to join us.
Oh, I like that background.
Mike, what is up? Welcome to the show.
How we doing? Good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my goodness. Look at you are all decked out. Is that a new a throw, or is that a actual Buffalo Bills sofa you're sitting on?
It's just a blanket.
Fair enough. So I just asked Sydney if she was planning on going to see the Odyssey. Any thoughts on this must-see global spectacular event?
No, I don't have any input on this.
Well, that's not your Randy's question out of nowhere. Your question out of nowhere is, are you burnt out on winning? I heard you listen to the podcast last week, and so I have to ask you as well. Give me your take on this hilarity.
I think the thing is now is we know our time window is short now. So we know we got to win now. We only got a couple more years left of Josh being Josh. So okay. I think the pressure is just turned up now to win. So when we don't win, it hurts even more. So it feels like we got to be perfect now.
Understand that, but are you able to at least enjoy the regular season, or have you been able to enjoy the regular season these last 3-4 years?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, going through the drought where we haven't won it all. This is like, it's like Christmas every game now, except for when we play bad, then it's not so much.
Well, we wanted to have you on this episode because, hey, guess what? The stadium is live and open. They had the red and blue scrimmage, a few days? I don't even know what day it is. What day are we on? Tuesday. So we are 4 days ago. You were there. You were live in person. We wanted to touch base with you and see what it felt like to get in this place. So let's start. General overall thoughts, and then we'll kind of break this thing down. What did you think as you were heading towards the brand new Highmark for the very first time?
It was really awesome. I mean, I've driven by it a few times as it's been built. So we've seen the progression. It was kind of nerve-wracking going in there because you didn't really know what your seat was going to be like. You saw the renderings when we went through the stadium experience, but you really didn't know what it was going to be like. And I thought it was awesome.
So good overall first impressions. Were there a lot of people there?
There were. I think I heard the attendance was 51,000. The stands were pretty full, but there were a lot of people kind of like myself that were there. They were doing a lot of walking around and exploring as well. So when you looked at the stadium, just the seats, they weren't all filled, but there were a lot of people there.
Okay. So the overall blueprint of the whole thing obviously has changed a lot. Give us kind of you park, you're walking. What's the overall feel? What's different? What's new? What's the same? Kind of. Let's start there. general like tailgating lots, are they relatively the same, or what's going on?
The private lots are relatively the same. There's a little bit of difference with the Bills lots. I didn't really explore them much, but I heard the spaces are a little larger to allow for tailgating. And before, with all the tents and everything, you weren't getting emergency vehicles through there if there was anything going on, at least in between
Okay.
in between the rows. So I think that's the reason why they did that. But the tailgating, I think, is going to be pretty much the same.
And tell me about like the walk-up process to the actual stadium. So I hear there's almost like two gates. The first gate is and correct me if I'm wrong, like a security gate. So you pass through security, and then it's a big open space where you can go to family circle and all this other stuff. Is that true?
So family circle was actually outside of the security perimeter. So
Oh,
you could see that first. We went through there. Really cool with the giant bison and everything. And the thing I found surprising is they have some blank areas in the family circle for some future inductees.
That's cool. I like that.
future inductees. Anyone pop
Yeah.
pop to mind? Anyone you think's? I mean, are we going to put Josh on there right now, or what? What are we doing?
You might as well.
Is there a space for the 3Ts to go?
Well, there's space.
Well, we might not make the first round.
Keep working at it.
All right. So how big are the Buffaloes? Keep working at it.
Oh,
Thank
they're
you. That's why
Um,
Sydney's here. We're taking this thing straight to the top.
Buffaloes are huge. Really cool to see. When we got there, it was daytime.
Yeah.
So you really didn't see any special effects. When we left, it was just starting to get dark, where they were lit up, and they're really cool then.
Okay. Now, are they like? Is it like a laser show on them? Like I don't even know what to expect, or maybe I shouldn't be asking all these questions because all the surprise will be gone. But hey, the listeners want to know.
So they have a bunch of giant lights around them. So I think they can
Okay.
put different types of lights on them. I didn't see any smoke coming out of their noses, but I've seen other videos of that happening, which that could be really
That's
cool
yet
too.
to come. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is there a lot of space around there? Like, can a lot of people congregate in this area, or is it going to be just ridiculous?
No, there was a lot of space in there, even outside the stadium, outside that security perimeter. There's a ton of space out there now. The one thing I found a little depressing is I took my normal walk up there like we would for the old stadium, and the
Yeah.
old stadium is no more. That was just looking across the street there where, we just walked out of there a couple months ago. It's not there anymore.
Completely gone. Yeah, I was seeing
Yeah.
the videos of the demolition. It's crazy when they took the main wall down. With the sign that said "Hi, Mark." The
Mhm.
main most recognizable part of the stadium. When they tore that down, that was insane. But
Yeah.
so what else? So you noticed the Buffaloes are huge. It's a lot of area. I know they're about 50,000 people. Did it seem like everyone was still on top of each other, or is it much more spread out? Do you have a lot more space to move as you're approaching the gates and such?
There's a ton more space. So the security perimeter is much further out than it was before. Where before you're hitting that security perimeter, and right after that you're hitting in for the tickets. The security
Yeah.
perimeter is much further out. So there's a lot of room inside there just to kind of walk around. They have concessions on the outside where they have some restaurants that were actually cooking food out there, barbecuing some food. We actually got in line for one of those. That was an experience. We were in line for a good half hour. Luckily we got there very early. They opened up the security perimeter at 4, and then they didn't open up the actual stadium until 5. So we had some time to mill around.
Are these permanent restaurants, or are these like food trucks that are going to be able to be rotated? What are we talking about here?
I think they're permanent restaurants. They're actually like little outbuildings.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're going to be switching up which restaurants are where, but we went to Southern Junction, which is kind of a barbecue type place.
Right.
The line to get in there was a little weird. You kind of wind your way inside, where when you're in line, you really can't see anything inside there. And then as you're going through the line, which was insanely slow, which I'll give them credit for just being the first day that everybody's doing everything and no one knew what they were doing. The way the food was, they had a bunch of food up on racks, but you didn't know what was what. There was just a menu at top that said how much everything was. So grab some food and a drink, and then the cashiers really didn't know what they were doing either. So I think that was kind of the reason why the line was so slow. But
Oh wow.
again, first day. Hopefully they work
Okay.
that out as the season goes on. But the food was fantastic.
And what was the entry process to get through security? Did it seem a little smoother or?
Yeah, much smoother. You didn't have to take anything out of your pockets. If the alarm went off, they had you take stuff out of your pockets and walk through again. We were through there within a minute or so.
And then there's your actual ticket gate to get into the stadium is a good ways off.
Yeah.
Okay. So then tell us first impressions upon actually getting into the stadium. What was going through your mind? What were you thinking?
So I mean, it was really cool because from the outside, you're kind of peeking in the doors as you're out on that outer perimeter. You can somewhat see the inside of the field. You can see the seats and everything just looking through the window. So get your ticket, get checked in there, and then you walk right in, and then it's right there. You can see the field not being in the seats. It's really cool.
So as you're walking around on the concourse, you can see down into the bowl.
Correct. You got to be kind of close to the field side there to actually see the field itself. But a ton of standing room that are at the end of the sections. They have like little platforms there where you can put food and stuff down, so you're not obligated to bring food back to your seat to eat. So there's a lot of standing room all over the stadium.
Okay. And as far as like food options and stuff like that, obviously you said, I know you and I have talked offline a little bit. You didn't get to see everything, but a lot more options, a lot more space, just to be able to walk. I mean, the concourses in Old Highmark, you just couldn't walk anywhere without. I mean, you're running into 15 people at least just to go to the bathroom, for God's sake, and then it's just terrible.
I mean, it was kind of weird because it was the first time everybody was in there, so they're all kind of walking around, not paying attention to anywhere they're walking. And I was the same way. You're just trying to take in everything at once, and there's so much to take in.
Yeah.
So everyone's kind of just walking around, looking around. But even with people doing that, and as many people were in the concourses, you still didn't really feel crowded.
So what else like stood out as far as I know one of the things you and I talked about when we went through the stadium experience is they actually are going to have kitchens. They're actually going to be able to cook food. It's not just, hey, we're going to reheat some hot dogs and some Tim Hortons coffee that's been made 6 days ago and some stale popcorn. It's like they can actually cook stuff. Did you see any of the options, at least by the section where our seats are, or what are we talking about? You think we're in a good spot? What do you think?
I think we're in a great spot. I mean, the food choices there are almost endless, and not just like
Okay.
hot dogs. And there's a lot of buffalo stuff there. I saw some beef on weck there, a lot of wings. The beer selection is very, very good there compared to before.
Okay. No, I'm super excited. So then you finally decide to go down to your seats to check out the brand new view, and hopefully I'll be there in a couple weeks. But what did you experience? What did you feel when you're walking to your seat for the first time?
I mean, just the view is fantastic of the entire stadium. You're looking at the upper deck. The upper deck is very steep. I don't know
Yeah.
if I'd want to be up there standing the whole time. I could see that being an experience in itself. Just the whole stadium is beautiful. There's a stage in one of the end zones where they had a band playing when we first came in.
Awesome.
Just really cool.
Now, as far as the view from our seats are relatively in the same spot. So we're on the 10-yard line. Compare where we were and the sight line to where you are now. What do you think? The same,
I think it's
better, worse?
very comparable. I think
Okay.
we're a little bit higher up, like elevation wise from the field.
Yeah.
But I love the seats; they're great. The thing that had me worried is being in the drip line of the roof, and looked up above us, and like the edge of the roof is like directly above us, and was a little nervous about that. And I was actually thankful when it started raining, because we didn't get dripped on much at all as far as from the roof. We actually stayed pretty dry too. I mean, it was really coming down rain wise. And every once in a while, you get a gust of wind that would blow towards us and you get a little bit wet, but for the most part, we stayed pretty dry.
Yeah, this was one of the controversies that we'll get into here in a few minutes that came out after the first scrimmage. People were complaining about God knows how many things. And one of the things was the roof and the lack thereof. And the thought when this thing was being built was that 60% of the seats were going to be covered by this roof, by the overhang, if you will. In your estimate, do you think that that is accurate, or was that a poor percentage?
I think if you have rain coming directly down without any wind whatsoever, maybe. But you
Okay.
throw the wind in there, no matter how slight it is, it's not everybody's going to be covered. And especially the 60%, I think was very high.
Okay. But our seats, tell me if I'm wrong, are we on the 25th row?
28th.
28th row. And so you think that's pretty much the line of where the roof, well, how do we pick that so perfectly?
Well, we were also told
Okay.
that there were no seats under cover in the lower bowl. In our section,
Yeah, true.
there's probably 8 or 9 rows that have the section above them, like the roof of that right over them, where you look up and you don't see sky at all. That's all you see is the roof of the next level.
Yeah. So now you've been in other stadiums. I know when we went to a Pittsburgh game and we sat up top, that's pretty steep up there. Do you think it's
Hmm.
comparable to that or worse?
I didn't go up there myself. I was just kind of looking at it myself. I talked to a couple of people that were up there, and they said it's really steep. The feel of the stadium though, just because you don't have any history there, it's the first time we're there. It felt like when we went to Detroit. I think back in 2022 when the game got moved,
The
where
snow,
it was
yeah, the snow, yeah.
it was a home game in Detroit, and they're playing all the Bills music and everything there. It's a home game, but you're in a weird place. It's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's gonna take some time,
Hmm.
especially when it's gonna take a while for everyone to get in there for the first time. I know, a lot of the season ticket holders still don't go to every single game, so it's gonna take a while for everyone to kind of trickle through and get used to everything. But I think at least by playoffs, that place should be ready to rock and roll.
Oh
And
yeah.
hopefully they work some of the kinks out. So yeah, let's talk about some of these complaints because they were numerous, and I was
Oh
just
yeah.
hearing a ton of stuff from the complaining about the roof to complaining about the TV board, and it was too small, and not enough bathrooms, and this and that, and the sight lines, and people were saying they had obstructed view seats. And I know the Bills came out yesterday and they put a statement out saying a lot of these things are going to be addressed. And they commented on specific people who were posting photos of their obstructive view seat saying, this is not an actual seat. This is not a seat that we would sell you to a game. So I don't know why you're posting this stuff. So it's hard to know what's real and what's not, but speak on some of this other stuff. What are your overall thoughts on some of these complaints?
I mean, if we got a seat that was where the view was obstructed and we weren't told about it, I'd be upset too. I
Yeah.
don't know how valid these complaints are if they were told during their stadium experience if it was going to be an obstructed view. And some of these views I saw, you're looking through plexiglass. Okay, I don't know if that's really obstructed. If I paid that much for a PSL though, and I wasn't able to see the field, I'd be upset. But I would just hope that if it isn't rectified, that they take legal action if it's valid. But kind of sick of hearing about it already.
Yeah, it's like, and Sydney and I have talked about this for the last couple of weeks. It's like every week there's a new complaint by the mafia, and I'm
Mhm.
just like, oh my god, we just need the freaking season to start because I can't take this anymore. But to
Mhm.
your point, you were talking about plexiglass potentially blocking some views, but when you're sitting up there, if the stands are that steep, don't they need this to prevent people from
Oh
falling
yeah.
over the railing anyway? So I mean, what are we talking about?
Well, I saw some videos today about the upper deck there and just the rails that they have, and it doesn't look like it will be enough, especially when some of the people start getting some beers in them. That it looks pretty dangerous the way it's set up right now.
Do you know if there's any validity to the claims that there were no bathrooms in the 400 section? I can't believe that's true.
I did hear that as well. I don't think there's concourses up there. I think you have to go down to the 300s to actually have concourses that you can walk around on. So I heard that is true.
Oh, so you have to come completely out of the section to get to anything.
Yeah, from what I understand. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess I don't want to, I don't want to say anything about it because I haven't seen it. I don't know what the layout looks like. Is the 400 section, would you say that that's equal to or smaller than the 100 section?
It might be about the same size.
Okay. The 200s are obviously club level, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where's the 300?
Between the 200 and the 400.
I know, but like,
I think
is it specialty seats or what are we talking about?
I'm not sure. I took it as their general seats, but
Oh, okay. Just another price point.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. For some reason in my mind, I can't like picture that because I'm so used to the old high mark where it's literally the 100s, your clubs, and then your upper deck. So I don't know. But what about the TV boards? Give us a rundown on how minuscule these brand new TV boards were.
I was actually kind of surprised myself how, I don't want to say small, but you're building a new stadium, you'd think they'd be a little bigger. I don't know where you'd put them though, because you'd be probably removing seating if you're getting a bigger board. And majority of the time, you're looking at the field anyways. I don't need to be entertained by the giant video board myself. And I think it suffices.
Okay, but were they clear? Like, could you actually see good quality on these things, or what? Were they not
Oh
really
yeah.
using them too well?
No, they were good. I think they're adequate. If you look at some of these other stadiums with these ridiculous video boards, the prices of the stadium were twice as what we paid to build this stadium. So it all depends what you're looking for.
You're talking about Jerry World there in Dallas, where the screen literally takes up 75% of the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, to me, that distracts from what the product is on the actual field. And you don't know where to put your eyes because you got a mile-long screen sitting right in front of you. So
Yeah.
I'm there to watch a football game. I know other people are going to say it differently. I'm sure the complaints will come in this week. So, man, it's frustrating. What else am I missing? What do you think is important that we should talk about?
So the seats themselves, they actually fold up completely. So it gives a lot more room when you're standing up. So if someone's walking, trying to get through the aisle there to get to their seats, they're not stomping on your feet. So there is a lot more room when you're standing up. Sitting down, I think there's maybe a tad bit more room than there was before. Not a ton, but it definitely feels a lot less cramped.
How about wider when you're in full snow gear? So snow pants, boots, the whole nine. Are we going to be able to actually sit in the seat?
I think so. There seems to be a little bit more room there as well.
And how bad is the snow going to pile up in these bad boys?
It depends. Are we going to get 7 feet of snow like we did a couple years ago, or there's going to be snow there, but at least they're not going to have to shovel the entire stadium like they did before.
Because Sydney is no stranger to the 3 feet snow game.
I'm sad I'm not going to get that this year in November.
Hey, you never know.
We'll see, but I don't think it's likely.
Oh man. So how early do you recommend people get there on a preseason game just to kind of take in all the sights?
So we got there around 3:30, and the outer perimeter opened at 4. So we just kind of took our time walking through the family circle area. When they opened up the security gates, we went in there for. We really took our time. We really didn't need as much time as we needed in the security gates.
Okay.
And then, especially with the preseason games, I don't think everybody is going to be as fixated on the game itself outside the first couple of drives. So you're going to have time to walk around the stadium. So I don't think it's necessary to be in there right when they open up the doors.
Are you not glued to the Shane Buechele versus Kyle Allen one-on-one battle for the the backup QB spot?
I have to say, you brought this up in your last podcast, the Nickel City uniforms.
We
Here
stand by,
here we-
folks. We got a
here we
hot
come.
take coming at you from Ohio.
I did not like them to begin with.
Okay.
I hate them now.
Oh,
You couldn't tell who was who. So the special teams guys, like the punter and the kickers, were wearing the Nickel City uniforms along with the quarterbacks.
okay.
When Josh Allen doesn't look cool, you failed with your jersey.
So, hey, we're going to use the 3T scale. Out of 4 turnbuckles, what are you giving the brand new, freshly debuted? I can't speak. I'm so excited. I want to hear Mike's rating. What are you giving these brand new Nickel City jerseys?
I don't think I've ever heard you do this before, but I'm going to say 0 turnbuckles.
Is there anything they could do to salvage these things besides throwing them in the trash?
No, the number, you can't really tell who is who as far as the numbers go. You can't read the names on the back. They're very plain. I've seen the comparison to a Diet Pepsi can, and that's kind of what it looks like. I think they're terrible.
Oh man, Mike is bringing the fire today. Okay, Oscar the Grouch. Well, everyone hated last year's rivalry jersey. Are these better or worse than the rivalry jersey?
I think they're worse.
Pause.
I think they're worse. Yeah.
Okay, because the complaint was the rivalry jerseys didn't translate on TV, and it's the same thing. The numbers get washed out, and you can't tell who's who, and it just looks like a big blob of a mess. So great. Now we have 2 of our 6 jerseys are completely trash. So I should not run out and buy them because I have one currently in my Fanatics cart right now waiting to buy.
You know you're going to buy it anyways, but
So I should buy it from a third party somewhere overseas instead.
you're probably not going to tell the difference.
Especially from TV. All right. Now you are heading back for preseason game number 1 Saturday, right?
Yes.
So who are they playing this weekend? Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that a 1:00 kick?
Yes.
So what's the lineup look like for that day?
I think kind of the same thing. We're going to get there somewhat early. So I took my daughter with me to the red and blue, taking my wife with me to the preseason game. So we're kind of probably do the same thing, exploring, seeing it's her first time there.
Yeah.
I want to try to maybe explore the other levels. I heard there's a viewing deck from the very top where you can see downtown. I'd like to see that. So I just seeing more of the stadium.
So you're thinking maybe keeping tailgating to a minimum,
Yeah.
especially for preseason stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. Any other thoughts or comments on the stadium? Sydney, you got any questions for Mike?
Yeah, I saw one video of a guy and he said that the material that the seats were made out of, that you can't, when you bang on them, they don't make any noise. Is that true?
That is true. So, but that stadium is going to be loud. You're not going to need to be banging on any seats. It really keeps the sound inside, so it's going to be really cool once the season starts to hear how loud that place gets.
And you're not even going to notice that it's 10,000 less Mafia members in there.
I don't think so.
Are you happy or sad that 10,000 people didn't get a seat in this stadium?
I'm happy.
Okay. All right. And click that, Mr. Producer. No, I can't wait. I can't wait to get in there and check it out. But how about we talk about a few more Bills things before we let you go, if you got a few more minutes?
Yeah, bring it on.
All right. So the big news of the week was Osiris Torrance signed a 4-year, $78.4 million contract extension, $46 million guaranteed. Sid, I'm going to start with you. The Catman, how do we feel? He's 26 years old. He's never missed a game. What are your thoughts that we locked up our right guard for the next 4 years? How do you feel about that?
I like Osiris. I think he's a cool guy, especially when he wore that nice little suit on draft day. Um, yeah, I think it was an important signing just to get him back on the line for the next few years. I think he's a good guy. He's a quiet guy, which I like. He's very humble and he's great. I mean, he's never missed a game. He's been very solid for us. So I think it's a good signing. I know
Yeah,
other
it's
people don't
crazy.
agree, but
Well, it's crazy that he's never missed a game since he was
hmm
drafted. So, Mike,
yeah.
what are your thoughts?
When I first saw that number, I was kind of shocked. But the more I thought about it, more I read into it. He doesn't give up many sacks. I think he only gave up 3 sacks last year. He doesn't miss any time at all.
Yeah.
He doesn't miss snaps. And he's still young. So I think it's a good signing. If Josh is safe, that's what we need, because if he gets hurt, we're doomed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's going to play this whole season at age 26 years old. So, I mean, look, this will carry him till he's 30, and then we can reevaluate. But this is kind of the price it's going to take to sign. I'm not going to say he's a top 5 guard in the league, but he's pretty damn good. He's pretty consistent. He stays on the field, which is what we need. And it's that O-line consistency. So now the whole line is locked in outside of left guard. Who knows who's going to be starting there? Probably Anderson, but we shall see. And the question that this brought up to me is, what does this mean for Dion? Because Dion's kind of the one that's on the hook now for the big money, and we didn't extend him. Usually he's one of those levers that we always extend or mess with his contract a little bit to save some money on the cap. We didn't do that this year. And there was a lot of talk that this could be the last season for Dion. So now that we kind of re-signed Cybo, do we think this means this could be the end for Dion?
Not a chance, in my opinion. I think Dion is a forever bill, in my opinion. I think he would take less money to stay and retire a bill. He's said that multiple times. He has no problem reconstructing his contract to give others the opportunity to play for the team. In my opinion, I could not see him ever wanting to play for any other team. He loves Buffalo. He's embraced Buffalo. He is, in my opinion, just a bill for life. So I don't think that would ever happen.
Mike, what do you think?
I have to agree. I mean, anytime there's any kind of PR events, he's always a part of it. If the WWE's in Buffalo, he's there wearing a belt. Like Sydney said, he's Mr. Buffalo. I could see him taking less money. He had a lot of penalties last year too.
Ton.
I love him, but if anybody's performance was in question, he didn't have a great season last year.
Well, that's my concern. Now he's come into camp. He claims he's 45 pounds lighter. I don't know how to verify that, but that's what he's saying. But yeah, last year was kind of a down year. And if he keeps a downward trajectory, it's going to be tough to continue to invest that much money in that position. So especially when you've paid all these other guys. And that was the other question I had when we look at a deal like this is, does this prevent us from really going out and signing a lot of these big name free agents or being able to, lure that big fish in via trade and then kind of trading and then re-signing guys, because we've spent a lot of money to re-sign our own. And these guys are good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not happy that we signed Torrance, but there's a lot of big fish out there that we just never seem to be circling around because we can't afford them. I would have loved to have seen them bring in the Cleveland guy.
Myles Garrett.
Thank you. It's just the name escaped me, but there's no way we could number one, offer that trade package and then re-sign him for what was he asking for? 50 some million bucks or some ridiculous. I mean, it's basically Josh Allen money. So well, we don't have that kind of money in the bank account because we're paying all these, I don't want to say mid-tier because I don't think that's fair, but they're not like top of the top. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago as far as the top 10 lists, and outside of Allen and Cook, nobody on this team is breaking any top 10 lists. So here we have deals like this that happen over and over again because Brandon Beane, he loves to re-sign his own, but then there's no money left in the coffee can to go after these big guys. So what are your thoughts on that?
Sorry, I didn't know.
Um, what kind of surprised me was how much we're paying DJ Moore for the caliber player that he's been. I thought we overpaid. Then I saw him when I saw him at the Red and Blue. He's catching everything. I think he's going to be good. But I would rather have a strong offensive line with Josh than to have like Justin Jefferson with Kyle Allen throwing.
So if we sign Justin Jefferson, Josh isn't on the team anymore. What happened to J17?
Well, if he gets hurt because we're not paying our offensive line, or that's where I'm going.
Fair enough. I was like, what happened? We traded him because we needed Justin Jefferson? Oh my gosh. Sydney, what do you think?
I don't know. It's tough. I feel like you're almost stuck between a rock and a hard place. You want to invest in your defense, and I feel like we've invested a lot in our defense, especially this past season. We re-signed a lot of people just to keep them. And I feel like sometimes we neglect our offense. I don't know. It's tough. We talked about in the offseason all these offensive weapons that we wanted to sign. Like we could have gone after Jacoby Myers, and we could have gone after this person or this person. And it just never seems we are never the team that is in the running for any of these big names. So it can be a little bit frustrating. I think DJ Moore is going to be really, really good. And I'm excited for that bond that him and Josh are going to have. But you still kind of think about, what could have been, like all of these signings that we could have had. But I don't know. I'm choosing to trust in the process. I think that they know what they're doing. So hopefully them investing a little bit more in our defense is going to pay off.
Yeah, they just need to stay on the field because, we're seeing it already. Guys are starting to get dinged up in training camp. CJ Gardner-Johnson can't seem to stay on the field for more than a day. So the last thing I want to see is the fourth string safety out there with Cole Bishop again. And then, we're calling up Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer one more time to get the band back together. It's just, I don't know. And hopefully with Jim Leonard running the show on the defensive side of the ball, we don't have the same numbers on standby in the old Rolodex. So when guys start dropping off like flies, we're not getting the band back together because I just don't want to see that. But yeah, it's always tough. Like, do you assemble a lot of B players, C+, B- players, or do you go stars and scrubs like, fantasy sports and spend a whole ton of money on your top 3 or 4 players, and then the rest, you're barely stocking the cupboard. So it's always tough. I don't know. I would have loved to have had Myles Garrett on this team, though. I gotta tell you, and I know what that cost would have been. Well, anyway, I kind of wanted to look, if you guys don't mind, at the first quarter of the season because everyone said it's going to be a gauntlet. So I figured, hey, let's just preview, not really dive terribly deep into these first 4 weeks, but let's just do a general overview of the first 4 weeks. So we start on the road at Houston. Then our brand new stadium gets opened with Detroit coming to town. Then the Chargers come week 3 into Orchard Park. And then finally 3 straight home games with the Patriots. So we have at Houston, home for the Lions, the Chargers, and the Patriots. General thoughts. How difficult is this 4-game stretch? What do we think? Sid, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, those are 4 powerhouse teams right there, in my opinion. I mean, Houston's defense was incredible last year. The Chargers were good. The Patriots are what they are. I'm interested to see what their season looks like because I know everyone says about their schedule, and they had it really easy. So I'm interested to see how that's going to go. But they also have a really hard schedule this year. So that is a coin flip, in my opinion. All of them are coin flips, but they're tough. They all have very good teams. And all of them in a row is not going to be easy at all. So I'm interested to see how those go.
Mike, what do you think?
The Houston game, we always play like crap against them. So that's kind of what scares me. I think their offense is almost non-existent.
Yeah.
So if we could just avoid mistakes, I think we could win that game. Detroit, you never know. I just hope we come out with a win, being the first game in the new stadium. Chargers, they're going to be a tough opponent too. Um, and
Mike
the Patriots
McDaniel's Chargers, mind you.
Yeah, that's interesting.
and the Patriots will crush.
Oh, all right. All right. So who is the best quarterback that we're going to play in the first 4 weeks?
It's not Houston, I'll tell you that.
Okay, CJ Stroud is off the board. I think he's completely overrated.
I also don't think it's Justin Herbert, so I think it's sadly either Drake May. I don't know.
Do you want to rank Goff over Herbert and his brand new offensive coordinator?
The thing about Goff, he is good for one or two horrible games. I remember a game last year he threw 5 picks. So I think Goff is good. I don't know if he's better than Drake May. I don't know.
But he has so many playmakers on that
No,
offensive.
his run game is insane. I think if our defense is not on point that game, Gibbs is going to run all over us.
I think that is a nightmare of a game, week 2 to start the season. I got to tell you, when that was announced as the opener for the stadium, I was like, wow, that's exciting. But at the same time, I'm not sure we can. I think we can win. I would have much rather have seen the Jets or the Dolphins or someone to get that early dub in that building. But holy cow, like that offense, when it's humming, there's not hardly anybody outside of maybe Seattle who can slow them down. So, man, if they're ready to roll week 2, I've said this. I think Mike, actually both of you, we've talked about this. In my opinion, it's going to take 6 to 8 weeks for this defense to get up to speed, and this team is going to have to be carried by the offense. So, man, I don't know. This is I don't know, but I'm not sleeping on Herbert and his new offensive coordinator. I think McDaniel can go in there. He might not know where the team's located. That's okay. He doesn't have to. But did you guys hear that nonsense? He thinks the team is like, it doesn't matter. But anyway, but I think getting a fresh mind to actually work with him, Herbert can be awesome. I could easily see him being a candidate for AFC like MVP. Am I crazy?
I mean, the potential's
Sydney,
there.
You think I'm crazy?
No, I don't think you're crazy. I think he definitely has the potential to do that. But I think going off of last year, was he better than Drake May? I don't know.
I think,
in my opinion,
y'all know how I feel about Drake May. I think the Patriots were given the keys to the kingdom, and they had the easiest schedule. And then when push came to shove in the playoffs, Drake May played like absolute garbage. So I don't want to. The Drake May love went way too far. Now maybe that's me being a Patriots hater, because they're my most hated team for the last 40 years of my life. So maybe I just hate them and I want to see them fail on every account. So I don't know, but I think the Drake May and the Patriot love went way too far. But maybe I'm naive.
He's completely overrated. I think this is going to be a wake up this season when he's playing some actual teams.
Yeah, I hope so. So out of those first 4 games, what's the hardest game and what's the easiest game, Sydney?
I don't know. I think the hardest game is going to be Detroit, just solely because of their run game. I think our defense is going to need a lot of time to catch up. And I don't know. I feel like Houston could be. These are so hard. I don't know. Houston, if their defense is as good as they were last year, that could be really tough. But yet again, they don't have a great offense. Maybe that could be the easiest. I don't even know.
It's tough to pick, right? It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
Mike, what's the hardest game? What's the easiest game?
I think Detroit's going to be the hardest, just because they're a very complete team. I want to say that our defense is going to be up to speed come week 4, and I think we can beat New England. I think that's going to be the easiest game.
Okay. Did you also find it weird that it's 3 straight home games? Weeks 2, 3, 4, 3 straight home games? I'm not a fan.
No.
What's the best case scenario? Is there a chance we could win all 4 of these games?
For sure. There's always a chance.
What do you put that at?
Hmm.
The Vegas line is 2.5 wins in the first 4 weeks of the season for the Bills. Are you taking the over?
I don't know. I would love to take the over, but who knows?
Mike, what are you betting?
I would take the over. I think we could win 3 of those 4 games.
You come out 3-1?
Yeah.
And in your opinion, who's the one we're losing to?
I'm going to say Texas.
Oh, no.
I would rather lose to Texas than Detroit.
If we lose to CJ Stroud after I saw what he looked like coming into the first day of training camp, I'm going to be utterly embarrassed. So
I don't know what it is about Houston. We play like absolute trash every single time we go to Houston.
I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
I don't know. It's been what? 15 years since we've won in. It's something ridiculous. Obviously I did not do my research to know this, but I think it's been quite some time. I don't know. Any other thoughts on the first 4 weeks, the first quarter? I think it's going to be kind of brutal, but if we could come out 3-1, I think we're setting ourselves up nicely. 2-2 at the worst. If we start 1-3, we could be in some trouble.
Yeah, big time.
I agree.
So what do you think keys to early success are for these first 4 weeks? I know we talked about the defense. They need to get up to speed ASAP, and I think offense needs to be humming those first 4 weeks. What do you all think the keys are? Who needs to shine and who maybe unexpectedly needs to shine? I kind of think there's a lot riding on Josh Palmer. Look, we know I have full confidence DJ Moore is going to be off and running. I think Shakir is going to be fine. Keon, let's just put him to the side. If we get anything out of Keon, I think that's a positive. I think Josh Palmer is the key. And if he's healthy and he's ready to roll, I think we can, and he's actually comes in ready to be the role he was supposed to be when he signed here as like that third multi-threat kind of wide receiver. I think sky's the limit for this offense. Am I crazy?
No, I agree with that. I think Dalton Kincaid too needs to have a strong start. Need to get him the ball a lot too.
Oh, absolutely, Dalton Kincaid. Yeah, absolutely. Sid, you think I'm crazy with Josh?
I'm not hanging my hat on Josh Palmer. I'm sorry. I'm not. I hope he does. I hope he proves me wrong, and I hope he's amazing. But he did not impress me last year at all.
He was never on the field.
No, and when he wasn't impressive. I am hanging my hat on Dalton Kincaid. I think when he's on the field, he just makes everything run so much smoother. And I am sorry, Keon, he's got to show up. We can't be, like I said, hanging our hat on Josh Palmer.
That's why I said unexpectedly. Who can unexpectedly shine? And I'm like, look, I gave Josh Palmer so much crap last year on this show. Go back, check the tape. Like I went wild on my Josh Palmer hatred. Maybe I'm turning a new leaf. Maybe my bionic arm has poured some new life into me. And like I got to spread some love. So I'm just hoping it's possible he could show up and do something for this offense. But yeah, I totally agree. Dalton Kincaid, look, when he's on the field, the Bills score a ridiculous amount of points. When he's off the field, it's a struggle. So yeah, I totally agree with you there. But is there anyone else that outside of these main guys that could be a big key to this team?
I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a huge help, but I mean, if we utilize Ty Johnson and Ray Davis more, I think the 3 of them work really well with James Cook. James Cook doesn't need to have the ball every single drive. Is he amazing? Absolutely. But the other 2 are good too. And Ty Johnson is great at receiving. So we need to use them just as much.
Yeah, totally agree. Mike, you got anything?
I had good news at the Red and Blue. I didn't watch the entire practice, but I did not see one screen pass to Shakir. They actually threw the ball downfield to him. So if they could do that, I think they'll be entertaining.
Are you saying that Khalil Shakir is capable of running further than 3 yards?
It's possible.
Wow. Okay. Well, this is breaking news on the 3 T's, and they say it couldn't be done. Well, that's fantastic. So the other big news that came out, and I don't know if you saw this, they are hinting that there is a major musical guest ready for halftime of the season opener at Highmark. Have you all seen this?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Well, now is when we are putting our guesses in. So Sydney, I'm going to give you the first guess. Who do you want?
I don't want to get my hopes up because I think if I do that, they're going to let me down. But I hope that it's the Killers.
Oh, you are shooting for the moon. Okay. And Mike, before you potentially steal Jackson's guess, I'm going to have him go on the record here. He thinks it's the one and the only Stampede. So I didn't want you to steal his thunder there. He thinks he heard the lingo major musical guest booked, and he's like, it's the Stampede. So do you have a better guess than the drum extraordinaire group, the Stampede?
I'm going to one up him and say it's the Believers.
Who the hell are the Believers? Do I not know this group?
It's the band that's playing every time we walk into the old stadium.
Oh, okay. They're so good they don't even get to go inside the stadium. That's right. They usually are on the stage right across from the store.
Yeah, I got it. It's going to be the Goo Goo Dolls, I think.
I think so. I think you're right.
That's a great guess. Yes.
I almost think
it
has
like
to
hinted
be the
at
Goo Goo
it.
Dolls.
Yeah, they hinted at it with the whole montage that they put together at the end of last season.
Yeah, if they're not there playing at least 5 or 6 classic bangers, shout out to Seamus. I think it's a disappointment. But yeah, that was my guess. That's the first thing I thought of. I would love the Killers, don't get me wrong, but I mean, Buffalo's own tried and true Goo Goo Dolls, baby. Let's go. That would be sick. So, I mean, we can hope. Let's set our hopes high for one of those two musical guests. But if it's the Stampede, then hey, at least Jackson was right. So, I am on a big superhero kick lately. I've been coming off a high of seeing the newest Spider-Man movie, and I'm diving into comic books, and I'm kind of loving it. I can't wait to see the new Avengers. So I was kind of like, hey, let's translate this to Buffalo Bills and the NFL. I'm a big like hero villain type of guy. Look at the whole NFL. Let's zoom the camera out a bit. Who do we think are the villains, the actual villains of the NFL? Sid, I'm going to start with you. Who you got? Give me.
I made a list.
Oh, you got a list. Well, let's go. Let's go back and forth, so you don't potentially take all of them. But give me your.
I have
top.
2 villains and 1 honorable mention.
Okay, give me your first one. First of all,
first villain, Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
I don't think I need to elaborate on that at all.
Any other thoughts on Patty Boy?
I think that speaks for itself.
Who's the comparable bad guy, like superhero villain? Like, who would you say he is his movie character?
Well, he's kind of like Thanos because he's got so many Super Bowl wins at this point. It's like, holy crap, let someone else have a chance.
Yeah, that's good. I like that one. Yeah, that's easy. Mike, you got what? Who's your top one?
Well, Mahomes was my top one, but I'll go Travis Kelce.
Okay, so we're sticking with the KC and the family here.
I stuck to quarterbacks, but I guess I should have elaborated a little bit.
Oh yeah, the world is your oyster. You could pick whoever you want as the villain. Who you got? Can I give you mine?
Yes.
Mike Vrabel. Because F that guy. I don't know how we just totally like swept all that nonsense completely under the rug with his off the field shenanigans. No, not okay. Not okay at all. So shame on you, Mike Vrabel. I hate you and your stupid team. That's my number 1 pick. So Sid, back to you. You got a second one?
All right. Sticking right along that path. I think that this person is a nice person. He's probably a great guy, but I'm going to have to say Drake May.
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
Is this like an Anakin Skywalker situation that he starts good and then he just murders all the young Padawans? What's going on?
If he was on any other team, I wouldn't say that, but just because he's on the Patriots, I have to say his name. Like I said, I don't think he's a bad guy. He seems like a very nice guy, actually. So I hate to do that to him, but I'm sorry. He's on my villain list.
Okay, Mike, you got any more?
I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
I thought about that one too.
yeah,
And
yeah.
he kind of speaks his mind and doesn't really care what anybody thinks. So he just offends a lot of people with some of the things he says.
Yeah, I'm so done with him. I don't know how people keep signing up for this nonsense year after year. I don't know how franchises just sit around and wait and literally put other plans on hold while they wait for 86-year-old Aaron Rodgers to make up his mind whether he's gonna, you know, play. I just what are we doing with this guy? And then he just goes on rant after rant. He trashes everybody. He just doesn't seem like a good person. No one knows if his wife actually exists. Like what are we talking about here? Like what is going on with this guy? I don't know. Sid, what else you got?
All right, I just thought of one that I'm going to mention. This wasn't my honorable mention, but I just thought of it since we're not going just quarterbacks. Cam Hayward. Sorry, don't like you at all. You're a jerk.
Okay.
But my
Any
honorable mention.
any insight into that?
I'm sorry, I just don't like him. I used to like him. He is just a jerk. He was mouthing off to Josh in this. Do you remember this when they got a penalty and like
yeah.
he was just about? I don't like him. I'm sorry.
Can I throw
No.
one out there real quick?
Yeah, of course.
I don't know who the movie equivalent is to Deshaun Watson, but what are we doing? Is he not? What's going on here? Is he not a villain, or am I crazy?
No, he's definitely a villain. He's
a
a different
bad
kind of
person.
villain. He should be on a list, but he's not.
Who else you got?
So my honorable mention is Jalen Hurts. I am a very big Jalen Hurts hater. I don't like him at all. I think he's very fake. I think he's a phony. The way he speaks, he uses like this fake voice. I don't like him. I don't like the Eagles. I don't like anyone on the Eagles. I hate him.
Is Nick Sirianni a villain?
For sure. And his stupid fake security guard, Dominic. I hate all of them. I'm sorry, I don't like them.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know.
I also made a list of heroes.
All right, well, Mike, do you have any other villains first?
Mike McDaniels, you mentioned him before.
You think Mike McDaniels is a villain?
Oh yeah,
Is he like the Lex Luthor villain?
yeah.
Kind of like, like me. I'm so funny. I'm this little short guy with capri pants. Ha ha ha. And then all of a sudden he has like these crazy powers, or is he just rich and then he just buys things? I don't know. He's like, oh, I've been hoarding this laser. I'm trying to figure out like what is he like who's the Steve Carell cartoon? Is he Mastermind? Is he really Mastermind from or no, that wasn't Steve Carell. I don't know. I should have done more research on this, but anyway. All right, hit us with your heroes.
All right, I'll go rapid fire just to save time, but Baker Mayfield, love him.
Oh,
love him, love him,
controversial.
Love him.
Hold on.
I don't know. Love the shake and bake. Sam Darnold. He's just such a good guy. What are these balloons?
Oh, apparently we're throwing a party for Sam Darnold. I'm not sure what's happening.
That was for the Super Bowl win. He's friends with Josh. Actually, him and Baker are both friends with Josh. So anyone who's friends with Josh, I feel like he's a good judge of character. Brock Purdy. Really like Brock Purdy. Feel like he wouldn't hurt a fly. Very nice guy. Honorable mention, Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco. Okay. He gets like the Obi-Wan Kenobi award for being 98 years old and still being, I was going to say alive, but we'll say playing.
I thought he was good in quarterback. So.
You got any heroes?
I really wasn't prepared for this, but I'll go with Josh.
Okay. Anyone want to take a run at labeling Stephon Diggs? Hero, villain? Where are we putting him?
Villain.
Or we just pass? He's the newest member of the Washington Commanders.
This is hard for me.
Oh,
I
man.
don't know. Oh, another villain, Tyreek Hill. I just keep thinking of more.
Yeah, but it's hard to be a villain when you can't suit up. He's
Yeah.
got his leg is busted up. But you mentioned Baker Mayfield, so hey, we're gonna transition right into that. I know this isn't Buffalo Bills talk, but hero really? Because he was allegedly offered 50 plus million from Tampa Bay for the next 2 years, and he said, "No, thank you. That's not respectable money." And so Sid, you got to stick up for your boy. Tell me, how much is Baker worth to play for the Tampa Bay Bucks down your way?
I don't know. I just feel like I did see they covered this a little bit in some of those stuff that I was watching. He basically just thinks that he turned around the franchise and he should be valued higher. I mean,
Can you
I
really
don't
turn
really
around the
care.
franchise if you go 8-11?
I don't know. I don't really care. I'm kind of indifferent. Tampa Bay is one of those teams where it's like they don't really bother me.
Yeah.
I like them. It's kind of like the Jaguars. Like as long as we're not playing them, I'll root for them. It's just indifferent. Like if he was my quarterback, I would feel differently about it. But
yeah, it's
it's
tough.
just kind of one of those situations.
He's so inconsistent with his play. He could be a top 5 quarterback, and then he could easily be a bottom 5 quarterback the next week. There's no consistency. I think even last year, they started out hot. They won, I don't know, they were 4-1 coming out the gates, and then they tanked. So it's really, I totally see it both sides. Look, he's
they had
a
a lot of
gamer.
injuries. You really can't
agree.
place that on him.
I think Cleveland did him dirty, and Mike, you could speak more on this, but I feel like they kind of rode him out of town, and he didn't really have a fair shake. But he played through a ton of nasty injuries, never complained, and just gutted it out. And he kind of, I think they did him dirty, but I don't know. It's tough. Do you want to pay Baker $50 million to be your quarterback? I don't know if that's the answer.
Maybe 5 years ago, but I like Baker. Like you said, he's a gamer. He did get the raw deal in Cleveland, but to his advantage, he got out of Cleveland because it's a dumpster fire here. It always will be. They're trying to play with Deshaun right now. I don't know if I'd pay him 50 million, but he's going to give it his all when he's out in the field. He might make some mistakes, but and he's entertaining too. I'd like to have him as a quarterback. Not over Josh, but I think he'd be serviceable for any franchise.
Would you take him over Kyle Allen?
Oh, absolutely.
What is this?
And when does Baker sign up to be Josh's backup? Does that ever happen?
No.
You think he gets to the point he's like, nah, forget it. I'll just go out to never gonna happen. Pipe dream?
No.
All right. Yeah, I figured. All right, Mike, one last question before we let you go. Give me your SummerSlam thoughts. You got 30 seconds.
Night 1, I thought was pretty bad. Night 2 was fantastic. That main event, they told a great story. I didn't want the match to end, but I thought Night 2 was fantastic.
Did you shed a tear with all the Shield nostalgia? I'll use that word. I love that word.
They did a fantastic job. And the more they went back to the Shield stuff, it was great. One of the best matches I've seen in the last couple of years.
Yeah, it was a fantastic match. Give me your thoughts really quick on CM Punk, Cody Rhodes.
I thought that match was really bad. They both looked old, slow. It was just not crisp at all. I did not enjoy the match much at all.
So you got to give it the turnbuckle rating both nights. What are you giving it here on the 3Ts?
Both nights combined, I'd say three turnbuckles out of 4.
Okay, that's not bad. That's a solid score. Yeah, I agree. I thought night 2 was awesome, and agree. And I agree with your assessment of the main event. But you got anything else to drop on us? Any other fire you want to throw our way before we let you go?
Oh, I think I'm good.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you stopping in here to the pod, giving us a rundown. Enjoy the preseason game on Saturday, and we'll catch up with you soon.
All right, thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks, man.
Bye.
All right, go Bills.
Go Bills. All right. Well, Sydney, are you ready to turn the page? We have already gotten what, an hour and 13
This
minutes
is
on this
long,
puppy.
yeah.
We keep rambling. So we're not going to do too much more. We'll skip wrestling and we'll go right into collecting. I wanted to have a general discussion with you about this whole idea of just collecting and why people collect stuff. Because I was really thinking about this over the last few days. And I know you're not a big collector, but let's look at why people collect things. And it doesn't have to be just cards. People collect sneakers, they collect coins, they collect records, they collect comic books. Some people collect jewelry. My latest thing is I'm huge into Funko Pops, and I may or may not have a problem when it comes to collecting too many Funko Pops. Why do you think people? First of all, give me your thoughts on collecting in general. Why do you think people love it?
Yeah, I think that it holds a lot of emotion for people. And that can mean a wide variety of things. And I'm just thinking one thing off the bat that I actually do collect, which is like seashells. And I know it's
Oh,
not
okay.
the same kind of thing to like a card, but when you go to these places and you're with your friends or you're with your family, like you're going out and you're together and you're finding these things. And I mean, I have a jar sitting on my counter just of all of the shells that I've collected, or shark teeth, or like anything along those lines. And I just think that it's kind of about either the memory, the emotion, it could be all of those things that you have when you're either looking for it or you have it. And it's just one of those things where no matter what you're collecting, it holds value to you in some sort of way. So I think that that is why people enjoy it. And I don't know, it's just a fun way to spend your time.
So seashells, that's awesome. How long have you been doing this? Is that since you moved
Well,
down there?
yeah, so it's cool because being in Florida, I the seashells are different depending on what beach you're at.
Yeah.
So, for example, we're on the right side of Florida and they're completely different from seashells that you find on the left side of Florida. So, even when I'm looking at my stuff, I can tell which shells are from which side. So, it's just cool. Like, I mean, you can go into like the, more historical side and you can look at it that way. But I mean, even just like I mentioned, it's just fun to have. And you can see like, oh, well, these I got when I was here with this person, that these I got on this day. It's just more of an emotional thing.
Now, do you mark them so you remember what's from what down the line, or do you just keep it in your head, like memory wise?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mark anything, but I have thought about doing that. We don't have a lot of space in this apartment, but whenever we do move, I would like to kind of make like art with them because I've seen people do that. So you can kind of display in a tasteful way all of the things that you found. So I'm kind of collecting them for that reason, to kind of make like a little art piece.
No, that's awesome. And that's something that obviously you can collect from any beach anywhere and still have those memories, and it doesn't cost you anything. So
Hmm.
literally all you need is the room to house them somewhere, and you could take that collection forever. That's
Hmm.
that's great. Can you see any anything else that you think you would actually want to collect?
I mean, this probably sounds silly, but like I think of like whenever I go to the store, I always, well, not always, but I always buy like a lip balm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have like so many of them, but it's just cool to like, I know it's not the same as a card, but you get to just like try different things and see what you like and what you don't like. And I think the same goes for like collecting cards. Like you buy this big box and you're not really sure what you're going to get out of it. And, when you unbox it, you say, oh, I really like this design card and this maybe isn't really my thing. So, although they're completely different sides of the spectrum, like I think the common denominator is that you're just trying to find something that you like and that you enjoy. um, so while I'm not a card collector, I like collecting my seashells, or like there's other
Yeah.
little things that I just collect. Just I don't even think about it. It's just like a habit.
Yeah, and I think I've kind of reached a turning point with my cards. It used to be that I was really excited when a new product would come out and I would want to buy the big hobby box and sit there and rip the whole thing open. But I found what was happening is just mostly disappointment because it left me underwhelmed, or I didn't hit a big card and there was nothing really of value there. And so it left me feeling rather empty. And so what I'm starting to do now, I'm really getting into this Funko thing. And I know you obviously know what Funko Pops are, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What would be the best way to describe them for those that don't know? All I could think of is almost
Yeah.
like a cartoon characterization of a um, character or a person from some sort of genre. So it could be sports, it could be movies, it could be
Mm-hmm.
television, music. It,
Yeah.
what
I
else?
mean, they
How
can be
how
of
else can I explain
anything.
it?
They can be of a famous person or an athlete or a movie star or a cartoon. I even have one in front of me that is like a life, like one of me. And I'm wearing a Bills jersey. And it's just like, you can make them about yourself or your friends. And it's just almost like a little bobblehead. Their heads don't really move, but
Yeah,
it's like a little bobblehead.
yeah, exactly. So the ones that I've been collecting, I kind of have two categories. I collect WWE ones. And what I like about those is they are from all different generations. So they go all the way back to like Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant and a lot of the old school guys that I grew up watching. And then your current generations and all your stars that are out today and everyone in between. And then the other genre that I collect are those from the music industry and like rock and roll. And so what we do, Jamie and I, we love to go to antique shops. And anytime we see a Funko display, we literally sit there and go through the whole thing trying to find some random Funko that would be a great addition to our collection. And specifically for her, she's more excited about the rock and roll ones, but like we've been able to find the whole Aerosmith collection and Pearl Jam and Guns N' Roses, and I'm piecing together my Guns N' Roses one, and we have, you know, like and we display them together so they look like they're all performing. It's like stupid things like that. And then to find the random wrestling guys that I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this one before, and we were just kind of going to random antique shops around like the Greencastle, Mercersburg area
Mm.
the other day, and we found a spot that had Funkos, and I found one I had never seen before, and so for like 12, 13 bucks, I added it to my collection. And it's like, to your point with the seashells, you can look at it and go, oh, I found this shell at this place with this person. Well, I can look at certain uh, Funkos that I have and go, well, I got this one at this antique shop when we were down in Charlotte or when we were in, New Hope, or I don't know. I don't know. I find I'm having more fun with that stuff than I do just opening a random pack of baseball cards and then being like, oh, well,
Yeah.
that was kind of a waste of $200. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and I just thought about it while you were talking. Like, me and Mike have a bunch of sports stuff from either like teams that I've worked for or teams that we just support, and we collect things from over the years. Like, I mean, I have bobbleheads from the Penguins and the Pirates, and it's just cool because I remember when we did those big giveaways or we had those big events, and like my big Penguins plaque with my picture on it, and those things are just like so cool to have. And I just
Absolutely.
like picture like our house one day, like we have just like a whole room just dedicated to all this stuff that we've been collecting for so long. And like if you go to a sporting event, like they give you this, or even that little plaque that you got me from the Bills game that we went to with T Bass when he made the kick. Like, I remember those things. So it's cool to like have a tangible object that you can think of that memory. So I
Yeah.
just thought about that.
Yeah. That's fantastic. And so, but that's what I'm talking about. Like sometimes we collect stuff that we don't even know we collect. Like
Hmm.
it just popped in my mind that another thing we love doing is going to random record stores and just going in and thumbing through all the used vinyl And I'm trying to find albums that my dad had when I was a kid, stuff that
Mhm.
I like to listen to that is 50, 60 years old. So we'll go into these record shops and spend an hour in there trying to find stuff from like the 60s and the 70s. And, slowly over the last, 5, 6 years, we've compiled a pretty decent record collection. It doesn't have to be super expensive, but it can be fun, and you kind of can add it to a trip. Oh, hey, by the way, there's a antique shop over here, or there's a record store over here, and we'll make it a point to go visit it just because it's something that we like, and it can add to whatever the quote unquote collection is. I don't know.
Mhm.
What do you
Yeah.
think the biggest motivation for people is for collecting, or do you think it's totally random, depends on the person?
No, I think it does depend on the person, but I think for the most part, people just want to feel something. I think in this generation, everything is almost so mindless. Like you're on your phone, you're scrolling, you're not really like paying attention. Everything is just so like unintentional. And I
Yeah.
think people are craving things that are intentional, and like that you can have a hobby that doesn't have to do with your phone, or you can actually just go out and do something that is meaningful in a way. So also just having objects around your house, or things that you collect, it takes up time that you're not sitting and scrolling. And I
Yeah.
think honestly that has a lot to do with it, because don't get me wrong, like I scroll all the time, but it does feel nice when you're not doing that. And doing those things is like what a human needs and craves. So like, I don't know, I just think that that's the bottom line. What people are trying to get out of this is just emotion of some sort, feeling something that's not mindless.
Yeah. And when I got back into collecting cards, the reason I did it is because I pulled out those old cards that I had from my childhood, and I went through them, and it was like, oh, I remember what it felt like to have and open these cards when I was a little kid. And so I was chasing that feeling again, chasing that nostalgia. And so that's why initially I was ripping open everything, because I was trying to recapture what it felt like to be a kid. But I really think that that became very fleeting, and it wasn't really what I was after. And so, as I said, the way I collect now is a lot different. I rarely will buy um, a box of, like, I used to get all the baseball stuff and just, and then I'm opening it and I'm like, well, I don't even like these players. What am I doing? And now what I'm doing is I'm actually focusing mostly on Bills stuff, right? And very specific Bills players, but a lot of it is not even in the sports realm. You and I have talked about the Marvel and the Disney and things like that. And we've talked about, SpongeBob and Phineas and Ferb. And I collect stuff because, number one, it makes me, it has some tie to either you and your brother, or, me when I was younger, or there's a memory there.
Mm-hmm.
Or I just like the way these cards look because they're freaking awesome, and some of the stuff doesn't involve a baseball player or a football player, and it's not tied to a monetary thing. It's more tied to an emotion, like, oh my god, the artwork on this thing is awesome. Like, I'm diving into the comic realm now, and I'm spending more time trying to kind of separate myself from the real world, because when things aren't exactly going your way, you want to, like, you know unwind and unplug. And so you dive into the comic book realm and the superhero realm and all that stuff. And so I'm just looking at this artwork, and that's how I'm seeing some of this cards now. And it's just, it's kind of opening my eyes to seeing this stuff in a different way. And I'm starting to
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it more. Stuff that before, even 5, 6 months ago, a year ago, I'd be like, nah, I don't have any interest in that. But I'm looking at these cards like, holy cow, this is really freaking cool. This is something I would want to look at every time I enter this room, or when I'm feeling nostalgic or something. Not that some of the old sports cards don't do that, but some of the non-sports stuff, it's just, it's completely different. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
No, I think that makes sense. I think everyone just wants to, at the end of the day, feel something. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just a normal human emotion.
But if you had your pick, would you rather have one absolutely amazing item, or would you have a bunch of stuff that was pretty good?
I don't know. I guess it depends what you're talking about.
Would you rather have one fantastic, like top of the line seashell, like that crushed all the other seashells, or would you rather have a bunch of really good seashells?
I feel like I'd rather have a bunch of really good seashells.
Okay.
I don't know.
No,
Like I said, I think it depends like what you're talking about. Like would you rather have one really good star player on your team or would you rather have a whole bunch of good ones? I don't know. I think it depends, but I think if we're talking about seashells, I think I'm going to want to have a bunch of good ones.
Does something being rare make that item more interesting to you?
Not necessarily. I've never been drawn to that, in my opinion. I think that everyone has their own thoughts of what's good and what's not. And sometimes what's rare is not necessarily good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Everyone views things differently, but I don't know. It just depends. I've just never been a person that's like, oh, because it's rare, I have to have it. That's just not. If I like it, I like it.
No, I agree. And it's becoming it's almost like not even worth thinking about in the card collecting realm because these super rare cards, these one of ones, no matter if they're sport, if they're non-sport, they're so unobtainable anyway. Like most people don't have millions or tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to go buy these things. So it's like, that's really awesome. But I like this $5 card that I have here on my shelf way better because I can at least have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's no chance at all that I'm ever going to be able to get this unless I sit there and rip pack after pack. And, like I said before, that becomes too much.
Mm-hmm.
Final question. When does a collection stop being a collection and start to become an inventory? This is like real crazy thoughts.
I don't know. Yet again, I think it just depends what you're talking about and who you're talking to. In my opinion, I feel like that stops when you stop enjoying what you're doing. If something has no meaning to you, you're kind of just mindlessly collecting it. You're not really, there's no intention for what you're keeping and what you're collecting. So, like you said, like you were buying these boxes for X amount of dollars and it just wasn't fun, or you would almost had this feeling of like you were let down by it. Maybe, I don't know, like maybe going to a shop and looking through the cards for specifically what you want is better suited for you so you can build your collection and you're not just piling up this inventory of cards that you don't even like because you feel like if you buy this box you might hit this one good card. You want to collect things that you like you said previously, you're collecting these cards and you're like getting players that you don't even root for, you don't even like. So that's when it kind of becomes like an inventory. Like, why are you holding on to these things if they have no meaning to you? Why are you collecting these things if you don't like them? That's when it becomes like, okay, they're just kind of collecting dust at this point. Why do you have them? So, and that's just my opinion.
No, yeah, I agree. And I've kind of reached the crossroads and I'm having to like really think about where I'm investing my money. Not that I'm spending a ton of money on this stuff, but it's like, look back over the last 3 years or so and like, no, why did I buy this again? Why do I have the entire set of 2024 top Series 1 baseball when it's 350 players and 340 of them are complete trash? Why do I have all these cards that are worth absolutely nothing that I spent so much time and money putting together? I don't know. Just it's crazy. But anyway, any final thoughts on that before we wrap this thing up?
No, I think that was it.
Does Mike collect anything?
That's a good question. I don't think so. He has the cards that, you found for him and you got. He's a simple guy.
Yeah.
He just likes to keep it simple. I don't know, he just lives. That's all, that's all I can really say.
Well, when you get that new place with all that extra room, you're gonna have a room that you could put all your collectibles in.
Yeah, that's the thing. That might be the guest bedroom, who knows, with all
Yeah.
our stuff. He's got to have a place to put Jaden Daniels, so, and I didn't want him right next to my face when I wake up, so.
Well, I think unless you got anything else, I think that is going to wrap up this episode of the Three Ts. I apologize, Wrestling Marks. We didn't get to you this week, but that's okay. Sometimes some of the other teas will go a bit long, and we got a little rambly when it came to the first thoughts of the new stadium, but that's okay. We had a whole special episode devoted to Wrestling Marks a couple weeks back when it came to SummerSlam. So I think y'all will be all right. But I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Three Ts. If you have enjoyed this episode or any other episode, for some reason I can't ever say that line, do us a favor, leave us a review, hit us with a follow, a like, whatever you can to help us out. We're trying to grow this thing one episode at a time. And as always, I'm your boy TB. Thank you, Sydney, for joining us. Do good, be good, God bless, and we will see you later. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
See you later.